Legal News 19th March to 25th March 2017 by Deepak Miglani. Bombay High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of newspaper article regarding lack of English translation of Portuguese Civil Code. Recross-examination of witness is permissible after evidence is closed. Madhya Pradesh High Court. Mentally ill prisoners need halfway homes. Delhi High Court. Ex-Chief Justice Meghalaya High Court defends jet cover for himself. Uphar case. Supreme Court refused extra time to Gopal Ansal. Supreme Court upheld Calcutta High Court's decision to order CBI probe in Narada sting tapes. Supreme Court calls for talks to resolve Ayodhya dispute. Chief Justice of India Kehar offers to mediate. Kejriwal appeared in court in DDCA case and was granted bail. Why should ex-legislators get perks? Supreme Court. Supreme Court summons 9 chief secretaries for ignoring drought relief order. Digital appeals. Supreme Court plans to go paperless. Let Jawan live with wife. Start a family. Punjab and Haryana High Court to CRPF. Law panel for crackdown on hate crime. Bill to decriminalise suicide tabled in Lok Sabha. Supreme Court refused to recall order of SIT probe against former CBI Director Ranjit Sinha. Fuel supply agreements. Competition Commission of India imposed a fine of rupees 591 crore penalty on Coal India. Ice cream ad. Hindustan Unilever takes Amul to court. Now news in detail. Bombay High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of newspaper article regarding lack of English translation of Portuguese Civil Code. The Goa bench of Bombay High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of an article published in a local daily entitled Constitutionalism and Judicial Lapse in Goa and converted it into public interest litigation. Subject of this suo motu PIL would be the non-availability of official translation of the Portuguese Civil Code of 1869. The bench of Justice Anup Mohta and Justice Nutan Sardesai said. Dr. Marian Pinheiro, a law professor and a former Dean Faculty of Law, Goa University, is the author of this article published in the Herald newspaper on 15th March 2016. Recross examination of witness is permissible after evidence is closed. Madhya Pradesh High Court. The Madhya Pradesh High Court held recross examination of the witnesses under Order 18 and Rule 17 of Civil Procedure Code after evidence is closed is permissible in a civil suit. The court set aside the order of trial court that rejected an application of the petitioner filed under Order 18 and Rule 17 of Civil Procedure Code for recross examination of the witness after evidence is closed. The trial court dismissed the application of the petitioner on the ground that the petitioner could not file the application under Order 18 and Rule 17 of the Civil Procedure Code to recross-examine the witnesses, as the power to recall the witnesses for the same is vested only with it. Mentally ill prisoners need halfway homes. Delhi High Court. The Delhi High Court has issued a slew of direction to expedite setting up of halfway homes for mentally ill prisoners and recruiting trained staff to be deployed there, saying these homes should start working with utmost urgency. Halfway homes are residences for individuals who are released from institutions treating the mentally ill or drug addicts to facilitate their readjustment in normal life. A bench of Justices Geeta Mittal and Anu Malhotra asked the Principal Secretary Home of Delhi government to complete the drafting of rules for recruiting staff to these homes and forward it to the Health Secretary expeditiously. Ex-Chief Justice Meghalaya High Court defends Jed cover for himself. Ex-Meghalaya High Court Chief Justice Uma Nath Singh has defended his retirement order directing the state to provide him Z category security post-retirement by saying he perceived threat to his life from orders he had passed 6 years ago as a judge of Allahabad High Court. When the matter was taken up a couple of times by a bench headed by then Chief Justice of India T.S. Thakur, the Supreme Court had questioned the locus standi of private citizens who had moved court against Justice Singh and said judges worked under difficult circumstances. However, Supreme Court had sought the Meghalaya government's response. Uphar case. Supreme Court refused extra time to Gopal Ansal. The Supreme Court refused to grant more time to real estate tycoon and Uphar fire case convict Gopal Ansal to surrender and undergo the remaining 6 months imprisonment of his 1-year sentence. Supreme Court upheld Calcutta High Court's decision to order CBI probe in Narada sting tapes. In a sting blow to the Mamata Banerjee government, the Supreme Court upheld the Calcutta High Court's decision to order a preliminary inquiry by the CBI into the Narada sting tapes, allegedly showing Trinamool Congress members accepting bribes. Supreme Court calls for talks to resolve Ayodhya dispute. Chief Justice of India Kehar offers to mediate. In a surprise development, the Supreme Court urged the opposing parties in the Ayodhya dispute to make another attempt to resolve their differences through negotiations. Chief Justice of India J.S. Kehar advocated a give and take approach and even offered himself as a mediator. The sensitive Ram Janmabhoomi Babri Masjid dispute was back in the limelight just days after a BJP government headed by Aditya Nath Yogi took office in Uttar Pradesh. Chief Justice of India said the parties must first sit together and hold a meeting cordially to agree to settle the sentimental issue through negotiations. It is far better than fighting in court. Kejriwal appeared in court in DDCA case and was granted bail. Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal appeared before a Delhi court in a defamation case filed by Delhi and District Cricket Association DDCA and cricketer turned politician Chetan Chauhan. The court granted him bail in the case. Why should ex-legislators get perks? Supreme Court. The Supreme Court raised a question mark over benefits and pension for former MPs and MLAs, observing that these facilities on the face of it seems unreasonable. The court asked the centre why the benefits should not be scrapped. Digital appeals. Supreme Court plans to go paperless. Case files without papers are inconceivable in India's three-tier judiciary, which is hard-pressed for space to store them. But the Supreme Court is attempting just that by planning to go digital in 200 days. Chief Justice J.S. Keher declared that Supreme Court will go almost paperless in 6 to 7 months. We will electronically pick up records from trial courts and high courts. There will be no need for appellant to file those records. The appeal just has to state the grounds on which the petitioner is challenging a judgment in the Supreme Court. Let Jawan live with wife, start a family. Punjab and Haryana High Court to CRPF. In an order directly affecting the lives of defense personnel, the Punjab and Haryana High Court has asked Central Reserve Police Force to consider the transfer of a constable so that he can cohabit with his wife, keeping in view the legitimate hope that the petitioner and his wife have to start a family. CRPF should consider the subject matter sympathetically for any posting where the husband and wife can cohabit, and such an opportunity may be given after the minimum time is served in Chhattisgarh, the court held. Law panel for crackdown on hate crime. In a report on hate crimes submitted to the Law Ministry, the Law Commission has recommended introducing more provisions in the Indian Penal Code and the Criminal Procedure Code, widening the definition of incitement to violence. The Commission recommended that efforts to create hatred and fear should also be brought under the ambit of law. Even a speech that does not incite violence had the potential of marginalizing a section of society. The panel said, while seeking enhanced penal provisions to check hate crimes, the panel suggested adding a new provision in Indian Penal Code. Bill to decriminalise suicide tabled in Lok Sabha. The Mental Health Care Bill 2013 aimed at decriminalizing attempted suicide and defining mental illness in a broader and more inclusive way was tabled in Lok Sabha by Union Health Minister J.P. Nadda. While recognizing suicide attempts as a cry for help, the bill also bans the use of shock therapy for treating children with mental illness. Supreme Court refused to recall order of SIT probe against former CBI Director Ranjit Sinha. The Supreme Court dismissed former CBI Director Ranjit Sinha plea seeking recall of its order by which SIT probe was ordered against him for allegedly trying to protect some accused in the coal and 2G spectrum allocation scams, taking a cue from the apex court's order in the controversial corporate diary case in which the court had refused to direct probe. The former CBI chief raised question as to how investigation could be ordered against him on the basis of entries in the visitor's diary at his residence. The bench, however, was not convinced with his submission and dismissed the plea to recall its order. Fuel supply agreements. Competition Commission of India imposed a fine of rupees 591 crore penalty on Coal India. Competition Commission of India imposed a fine of rupees 591 crore on state-owned Coal India for having discriminatory conditions in fuel supply pacts Apart from directing the company to cease and desist from anti-competitive practices, the watchdog has ordered modification in the agreements. The watchdog has found the company violating competition norms by imposing unfair, discriminatory conditions in the matter of supply of non-coking coal to power producers. The complaints were filed against Coal India and its three subsidiaries. Ice cream ad: Hindustan Unilever takes Amul to court. At the onset of summer season, mercury levels are on the rise, with ice cream and frozen desserts makers locked in a legal battle. Hindustan Unilever and Vadilal Group have joined forces to take on Amul ice cream maker Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation over a television commercial which allegedly belittles frozen desserts. Hindustan Unilever, which markets quality walls, has filed a case in the Bombay High Court against Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, terming the latter's recently launched TV advertisement as misleading. Vadilal Industries and Vadilal Dairy International, which also manufacture frozen desserts, have a common interest in the matter and are supporting Hindustan Unilever in the suit. Hindustan Unilever has sought immediate removal of the advertisement, which, according to the Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing Federation, was launched to educate consumers to identify and differentiate between ice cream and frozen desserts. The advertisement talks about Amul ice cream being made from real milk as opposed to frozen desserts which are made from vegetable oil. The advertisement, however, does not name any brand. Friends, if you like the initiative and video, please share the video in your circle and subscribe the YouTube channel. Thank you.